What's going on? This is Seb. In today's video, I want to talk about why keeping your time in check is one of the most important skill sets you can learn. So a lot of us spend time, in meditation, doing all these routines we picked up. Maybe we listened to some books, maybe we listened to some advice, we took a course, whatever the case is. But we have this goal of achieving something that's greater than us, the current state we are in. We know that we have to continue learning and adopting and changing ourselves. But when we wake up in the morning, we find ourselves, doing journaling and stuff like that, right? I find myself doing this quite often, right? This is a habit that's kind of like a hurdle. You're slowly putting these small hurdles for yourself, making it harder. Instead, you need to get used to the habit of quickly, ripping up the sheet of paper that you have in front of you. That means that task you have at hand. Once you do that, once you start focusing on doing your thing, like for example, shooting the content, putting it up, setting it up for editing, on to the next phase. And then you go take a break, do whatever you got to do, come back, do the next thing. Instead of taking a journal, this is what I'm going to do next, this is what I'm going to do next, because time is the biggest factor, right? The longer you take to do that small task, the longer it's going to take you to even achieve anything, right? The longer it takes, the more opportunity you lose, the more disappointment you become, and so on and so forth, right? A good habit is to just get it done, get it quick, and just chop it up, go to the task that you got to accomplish, right? This is something I worked on myself. You can see I have a couple of things I have on the back here, but what I noticed, these things haven't been getting done as efficiently as it should, because why? We take too much time in the process of planning, and we don't want to be in that phase, right? So remember, that's something you have to focus on. I'm focusing on myself. We all got to learn. But at the end of the day, this video was mostly just about getting the camera setup going, right? Another thing that, stops you from creating quickly content, all these things, is the system you have in place. The system as in the process that you have, right? Something I have right now myself is multiple cameras I used to have. But now I notice the phone is the fastest. Why? Because the continuity camera is connected to the screen here, and with a very interesting software, Tela, I can do quick screen recording, have my video in vertical when the light is set up there. Maybe I can put some shortcuts in the future and make it even more efficient. Instead of going back and forth, camera, this and that, DSLR, it gets complex, right? The current state we're in right now, especially if you're starting out, right? You want to get to that 100K a month real quickly. You want to break that barrier, right? You have to focus on speed. Later on, you can look at the Hormozis and start incorporating really nice content, really good substance content, unique content, your own style of editing, cool editors, all these things. And now you see guys like Hormozi, now they're even trying to take it up a notch higher, doing Mr. Beast style content, right? So with every level, there's a new skill set and new strategy that comes into play. You, as someone who's never made any cash, any deals, you haven't closed anything online, you're starting out, you're just trying to get your feet wet in this whole online space, this whole remote cash flow is possibility that's out there for you. You see other people doing it. You need to start implementing speed. Quality at its bare minimum. Rely heavily on your camera, and especially the continuity aspect of the iPhone if you have a Mac, right? Why? Because you don't want to put your phone and start recording like this, right? You want to have it on the stand like I have right now. The lighting is literally one button, one click on the application Tela. In the future, you can even set up a shortcut to make it easier for you. And now I'm screen recording, about to share what I have to talk about, and it's also in a vertical format, which I can crop out in an editor and use it as shorts, right? So you're killing two birds with one stone, basically. And especially the style of content we're doing here is more education, inspiring, trying to get results. It's not a style of content, here's 10 reasons why you want to do this. Here, I'm going to go sell you a sandwich in the street for $10,000. No, it's not that style of content. It's mostly about the value and getting you to the place that you want to go. So, you got to cut to the chase and actually start providing value, getting into the habit of providing value. The more you do it, the more you start buying into that character, right? And hardest thing really becomes, or I should say it's not hard anymore, the biggest obstacle for you is to build momentum and continue that momentum, right? So when you look at a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people who create in the content space, they have a schedule, which is like, Sunday they do editing, or Sunday they do a bunch of videos, it's all scripted out, all that stuff. This style of content is not like that, right? You have to spend most of your day or thinking, right? It's a lot of deep work, know what you want to talk about, and then right off the go. Why? Because you're skipping all the, here's 10 reasons why you want to do this research and stuff like that. You have a specific topic in mind, and you want to master just being on the camera, day in, day out, 30 days a week, building momentum, right? Next month, you build some momentum, now you get better. Now maybe you might be getting some leads out of it, right? Third month in, boom, you're already bought in. Your mind is already clicked in with the character you've created, person who's providing value. Your message is on point. One of the biggest factors when it comes to doing anything in the online space, remote, any consulting, whatever value proposition you have in the marketplace, right, is your messaging. And the more you're in front of the camera, the more you're even talking to the camera, doesn't matter who's listening, you're just listening to your own voice. The faster you get to your messaging and the more it makes sense to you. You're basically selling it to yourself back to back over and over again. So once you do this, you're already at the closer to the finish line, which is getting your first client, which is getting your first couple of demos in, right? Whatever solution you have in the marketplace, doesn't matter, product, software. Now you're a generating machine. You have a machine in place, a system, and you or yourself are creating those inputs that are easy breezy to you now, right? Why? Because you built it up. It's not out of your reach right now. Kind of like an athlete, someone who's trying to go to the gym, right? At first, you go to the gym, you look at everybody, wow, this guy's bench pressing 2-3 plates. Wow, this guy is doing, 2-3 plates squat. Wow, I wish I could do that. You could barely, you've never even lifted the bar. Then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go today. You go today, you like it, maybe you get inspired a little bit, you build some confidence. 20-30 days in, now you're doing something of, something to be proud of. Maybe you're doing the barbell and like 10-20 pounds on each side, right? Basic beginner. Fast forward 2-3 months, now you're actually doing maybe a 45 pound on each side plate, actual plates, right? So you build this confidence and you quickly catch up. Basically, I'm telling you the story of my life. I've been in the gym, here and there, and I see regular guys coming in, they look like they never lifted, right? And they're inspired. They look from the back here and there, some people lifting heavy weight, and then they stick to it. And I see that they keep that same momentum over time, right? 6 months later, boom, they're doing the same, almost the same level of weight that, before they used to look at people, right? They used to look at people used to do that. They're doing 2 plates, squats, or whatever the case is. It might take a year or two, but that time goes by quickly because, you build that. You go from noob to actual someone that actually lives and has potential on yours. Guys in the game now very quickly. Same thing with the content space, creation space, providing value in the marketplace. At first, it's very tough. It's very tough because, it just looks tough. It looks tough. You haven't built the momentum, you haven't built the habits, but over time, you become that person, you embody it, right? And you provide value. The value is what dictates your results. The value is the reps, right? The more value you provide, the more reps you're doing, pretty much. I like using the gym analogy. I just got back from the gym, but in reality, everybody has some experience in the gym. They know the process. So it's very easy to break down when you're talking about it as a metaphor. And, it's simple to digest. Back to what we're saying here. if you want to create, if you want to be someone to create, and you should be. Why? Because 2024, 2023, this is the direction we're going as human species. This isn't a trend. This is basically the next decade or so, or even longer, right? We have the Jake Pauls, these guys who started out a decade ahead of us, ahead of everybody else, and we saw the results they're saying. Now it's up to the rest of the people that want to come in and produce in a not so attention-seeking manner, right? You could do that, it's really up to you at the end of the day what goal you have, right? As long as you're producing, you can be a comedian if you want. But my goal for you is to provide value, right? Find a problem that resonates with you, that you can solve, you can dig into it, you can solve it very quickly, and you could provide it to someone else so you could create that six-figure income real quickly for yourself, and then capitalize on different leverage points, which will eventually get you to the seven-figure and beyond, right? In a systematic way, not in a way that you have to kind of, cut yourself short, right? So if this message is helpful to you, you want to make sure to keep watching these videos that I put out there for you. Why? Because, like I said, as the human species, this is the value that we have right now in this given time. When AI is out, what's going to happen? The value of certain aspects that, maybe you value, maybe accounting, or maybe whatever the case is, maybe an artist, right? Anything. Right now we saw AI come into the space, took out the artist's type of work very quickly, right? Every aspect, right, that's already there, you think it's not going to be taken over, it's going to come and it's going to simplify it, right? There won't be that much need for the many people to, clutter it into one space, HR department, this and that, or maybe a lawyer or something. The AI can help with that. What does that do? That leaves a lot of other people basically either going to the direction of universal basic income, which is already in the works here, or finding different ways to provide value, and that most likely is going to be the human-to-human interaction. And which is why we're seeing countries like China invest heavily into this type of social media applications, because they understand the trend, and it's basically going to be a consumer to consumer type of market, and they're really heavily incentivizing the creators that come in, because people build relationships and they want to build online those shops, stuff like that. We're seeing that trend, and we want to come and basically allow you to become someone of that and capitalize on whatever space you're in. You could be in the e-commerce side. Again, you're going to understand how to produce content, whether it's user-generated content, UGC. If you're a software company, again, you want to capitalize on the same thing, user-generated content, whether it's in-house, you yourself, you have a growth consultant, a face, someone that's talking on behalf of your company, providing value consistently. You have the machine-like system that distributes end-to-end, editing, finding the research, what to create, systemized matter. Very valuable concept, very valuable skill set to have in your company, and this will dictate your success and how much you can take share of that footprint. So if this video was helpful to you, make sure you tune in and check out more videos so we can build together and provide value.